If you look at the current Roblox charts, there's one game that's dominating it, and we all know it: Brainrot. Steal a Brainrot has been the biggest game on Roblox for quite some time now. It has even broken some records with over 24 million concurrent players at one time. It's an absolute colossal of a game. And that's what I want to talk about today, because it's easy to look at it and say, this is just kids being kids. You know, we all watched and played funny games when we were younger, but this is something different. This is a change in culture. As we all know, with Gen Alpha, they already have low attention spans. They already are addicted to their phones with low literacy rates. So what could this mean for us gamers and Pokémon, which is one of the most dominant brands for our generation and of all time?
When we come back, what all the fuss is about, at least to the 8-year-old set in this country.
These games could cause a major change in gaming for everyone else. Companies follow profitability. They always have and always will. Companies have one goal, no matter what you say it is, what you care it to be, it is to make money for themselves. Everyone wants money. Companies are no different in any way. If these games make more money than traditional games like Pokemon, all games will transition to this. You might be asking yourself, what even is Steal a Brainrot? You might be a little too old for that. It is literally brain rots, which, if you don't even know what that is, are made up AI generated slop of characters coming down a conveyor belt, and you have to steal them, put them in your base, and they generate money for you. Everyone else is doing the same thing, and you can hide them in your base, and other players can come and steal them from you. That is it. That is the whole premise of the game. You can only have your base locked for 60 seconds at a time, and the rest of the time, other players can come in and steal your hard work. So this causes a big issue for children. Teach them about loss, but that's what games are. Games have always been brutal. I played Ark Survival of the Fittest. You could grind for 60 hours on a base, lose it all in a raid. This is nothing new. But why is this different? It is a Roblox AI mass production game. It is easy to make, low barrier to entry, and is making an unimaginable amount of money. There are two different kind of play styles to it. People will hop on for 4.5 minutes, kind of just do a little quick play, steal a Brainrot or two to get their money back, and log out before anyone can do anything against them. And there's people who spend 20 minutes on it, maybe more. Perfect amount of time for people who want to monetize video games.
Because it's the first Brainrot ever to cost real life money.
I'm gonna get robbed. I'm unlocking it. I'm paying. Pay to win.
In that range is exactly where people go to spend money to maximize the time they're spending. You don't want something to be stolen from you that you've worked hard for. The same as with kids. If they get money for Christmas, this is an easy way because they're playing with their friends, just like Pokemon cards for the rest of us. You collect Pokemon cards, you'd show them off. Brainrot's the same thing, except you could pay money to someone to protect your Pokemon card because other people can steal it from you. Now you can see how this could be a hurtful ideology in gaming. Microtransactions are already one of the worst things people have invented, and most people hate them, but they make money. That's why they work. This all comes down to the churn versus addiction paradox. You want people on your game over and over to keep coming back, to keep spending money. You don't want new players to just come in, spend one time and leave. That reoccurring transaction is what makes money. That's why Walmart, these other companies are so profitable, because you have to go back to them for the same good over and over. Groceries, everyone always needs groceries. This 60-second window it pushes, where you can feel a sense of safety, actually ends up pushing a sense of stress onto its consumers. And that sense of stress, people make bad decisions when stressed. That's when you spend money. That's what the game is hoping for. It's hoping to trigger bigger and bigger transactions from you as you get more committed to the game. The more time you spend on something, the more you want to protect it. And that 60-second window guarantees this kind of like, you have to come back. You have to defend. You have to spend money. Now let's be honest. I mean, we all know Steal a Brainrot is not going to last a long time. It is not a property that 10 years from now we're all going to be looking back on and be like, oh, this game's still so great. How did they do it? They're just going to pivot to the next game.
Livy Dunn versus a baby Gronk in Ohio skibbity toilet. It made me cringe inside. I did like that.
Gen Alpha and these newer generations, including my own, love this quick churn, new thing game mode. But if every game turns into that, then there's going to be no more games like Pokemon where it has this nostalgia. Think how much money goes into a Pokemon game. The people it employs, the marketing, the movies, the TV show, the card game. All this stuff costs money. Steal a Brainrot on Roblox could probably be made by one guy by himself, and they just pump out content. YouTubers are getting more views than current Pokemon YouTube videos. You could scroll all day through the shorts, through long form contents. Mr. Beast is in a Steal a Brainrot video with millions of views. This is a business model for games where they just try to churn all the money they can out of someone, and then they're just gonna turn into the next game. Grow a Garden, it's one where people do the same thing. Collect items, grow a garden, they produce money. They're one-dimensional, but cause this big upscaling of paying for money because you don't want to lose progress, you want to make faster progress. And when people get tired of it, they just go into the next one. Steal a Brainrot, it's all meme slop. This game has hundreds of these AI slop characters in it, where Pokemon, yeah, they took some time, they're all original, they're all creative, they're owned by the respective party. This AI slop could own to anyone. There was an incident with a Brainrot called Tung Tung. It actually came out that it could not be trademarked, that Roblox didn't have the rights to it, the game didn't have the rights, and they just got rid of it and created another AI slop. It's this dangerous mess of, if anyone has the ability to stand up against these characters in this game, they can just get rid of it and AI generate another one and hope someone doesn't try for that one. The characters themselves mean nothing. I mean, if you watch videos, people know the names, they love getting them, but really at the end of the day, they don't have staying power, such as Pikachu or Charizard, any of these characters we know, because they're one-off AI slop. This borrowed IP idea is very dangerous for games. If you can crank out an infinite amount of characters and on the off chance one has a problem, you can just get rid of it, is dangerous to gaming. It makes games infinitely easier to make, infinitely easier to monetize. You can make something that is specific to a niche group where that person is exactly what they want at that time, and you can generate it immediately. It's not going to take a long time, where Pokemon, if you love dragons, you gotta wait for them to release a new dragon type Pokemon, which could be years, it could be never. I mean, they made manta rays and keys, they might be running out of ideas, I hate to say it. But AI will never run out of ideas. There are just buildings standing next to each other. Think of anything, and there is a Brainrot for it, all right? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was one. It's really could be anything. So if you're thinking about this from a developer's point of view, if you were a business and you could put a fourth of the effort, a fourth of the money into a game and get comparable results, which are you going to choose? You're always going to go with lower barrier to entry game that makes a comparable amount of money. There's no point in the risk for a company or anyone else to do that. Why would they? And now you might be asking, what does this have to do with Pokemon? How is Pokemon factored into Brainrot's rise? I'll ask you one simple question. Have you bought any Pokemon cards lately? Have you played a Pokemon game you've enjoyed? Have you seen a child playing a Pokemon game? I have not. I've gone to Target countless times trying to get Pokemon cards for myself, and I can't. There's posts all over Reddit and Instagram and social media talking about how kids have lost interest in it because they can't get cards. They can't interact with the brand in a meaningful way. The new Pokemon games are only on the Switch 2, which is overpriced. No one wants to buy it. It is struggling. So when everything a brand relies on struggles, that brand struggles too. Now, don't get me wrong, Pokemon is not struggling. You could make a ton of money in Pokemon. Their games still sell super well. They still have tons of players. Pokemon Go is still wildly popular. I'm not saying it's the decline of Pokemon and it'll never come back. I mean, we all still love Pokemon. These new generations, as they get older, are not going to have that same nostalgia that we have for it. They're going to remember games like this, Brainrot, or the next 10 games after it, where there's no staying power, just the next game. So these legacy games will slowly decline. And who do I blame for this? Scalpers? Probably. Nintendo? Also, probably. It is easy to point and blame at certain things, but it is really a cultural shift from these long-term nostalgia, keep building on itself properties to one-off just spitting out content for someone to consume. And really, it might seem hard for you and me to understand that, but younger kids, they love this. They eat it up. They know all the names. They're involved. For them, this is just their culture. As Pokemon declines, games like this can rise. With new generations, they might never get involved in Pokemon. This could be the start of the end for it. It might not be. I mean, you and I will probably keep Pokemon in business for a long time. Maybe when we're gone, that'll be it. Things move on, things change. Something to keep in mind, these new business models that AI makes possible are a danger to legacy brands. One person can make a game with 23 million viewers, larger than CSGO, any of these other games. Something to keep in mind. I just wanted to talk about that. Let me know what you think. Subscribe.